Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another Commercial Trucking Chronicles. I'm your boy Swizzy. It's Sunday morning. It's kind of rainy out here. I stopped to run and get me some breakfast real quick. I just wanted to come up here and talk about yeah. I just found out that this dude just unalived himself, man, because of what just happened. Um, he just, I guess he was a trader, like crypto trader is pretty. He was a YouTube influencer too. Man, I'm trying to think what's his name. Oh, I can't remember his name. And I just read about it too. I forget the guy's name, but he's Ukrainian. He's from Ukraine. Uh, he's a YouTube influencer. He's also a crypto trader. He was found in his Lamborghini unalived, and this happened like a day or so ago. I guess he had financial losses which everybody, I mean, all of us, I took a loss too, man. You know what I'm saying? But my portfolio wasn't like cut in half or nothing because I'm not a trader. I didn't get liquidated or nothing like that. I just had assets that I bought. The prices was pretty low. So, um, but with the recent crash, the market crash, I mean, you had things that crashed like 80%. I checked some. I actually finally I have been locked out of one of my accounts, and since so many people were locked out of their accounts, I said, well, I'll give it a try, see if I can get in because maybe right now they're trying to resolve a lot of these issues. So it worked, and I was able to get back access to that account, but the balance had really been really affected by the crash. So it's a good thing that I was able to get into that account because it's been a year. It's been almost a year. Like I was locked out of that account and it was on Uphold. I was locked out of there since October 30th of last year. And I particularly remember that night because we were working nights during a project at an airport, and one of the guys had an accident and flipped the truck over, but he survived. But that was the last night I was able to access that account because I couldn't log in the next day. I was like, man, this is crazy. So it's been like a year since I was able to get into it, and I finally was able to get into it. And like I said, I have been going back and forth with them trying to get into this account, and due to the recent market, like just all the markets have tanked and stuff. A lot of people, of course, were affected. They lost money. They couldn't log into their accounts to put stop losses to even buy the dip. So it was just so many people that had their accounts like really just they were compromised. So I said, well, this might be a good time for me to try to get back into my account because hopefully let's hope they resolve it. I appreciate you guys giving me a like too, man. Good morning, R.I.P. How you doing? But in all seriousness, like what I was saying, this guy just unalived himself because of his crypto losses, and it's like he was found in his Lamborghini out of there. Like this is real. People are losing and they said that it was mental health day globally, like whatever. It was when this crash happened. But mental health is a big issue. Like people really are struggling financially, and they have issues. You know what I'm saying? Because of a lot of the struggles that they're going through. So I mean, this guy just said he done, he gone. Now, I mean, look, I took a loss. Starting over, this is my first time ever starting over, so I've had to start over. I mean, I could say I'm down a little bit, but not as much. Like my portfolio wasn't cut in half, but I did use a few $1,000. So you win some, you lose some. Okay, you got to know that, and you got to be willing to take those losses without letting that affect you. Uh, Indefinitely, like your mental state. Because of course, when the markets pull back and there's a crash, there's going to be some liquidations. If you're a trader, you're going to get most traders, they know, like I don't trade. I buy the dip, I buy low, and I sell high, or I just hold for long term appreciation. That's when I'm feeling cash out and stuff like that. But with this recent market debacle or plummet, where things just went completely, almost 90%, a lot of these coins to almost nothing. Yo, guys are crashing out, man. This dude took his own, he unalived himself, man. So that's crazy. I wonder if my food is ready. Let's see if my food's ready. Could be. No, still waiting. 5-star restaurant here. I come in here for breakfast a lot. So, but yeah, this is it's unfortunate that that happened. Very unfortunate that that happened. But you just can never put all your eggs in one basket too. That's one thing I would say. Never do that. Oh, I think that's my son. That's not. Decaf. I do decaf. I'm trying to think of the gentleman's name. But that, I mean, sorry, rest in peace to the man, you know what I'm saying, to his family and stuff like that. Um, I imagine that he must have didn't have any profit or money to the side. That's the thing about trading. You can't put all your money into these things. All right, thank you. You can't put all your money into this stuff, man, because if you put it all in there and then the market crash, you're done. You're done. You can't even get in there. You can't log in. You can't see your stop loss is done. You're finished. Just a couple more minutes. I get my coffee. How you guys doing this morning, man? What you got going on? Let me know where you at. It's getting a little late for breakfast, but I should have had some earlier. I was kind of slow to get up today because I was up all night watching. This is what I do, man.
Good morning, how are you? Keep myself busy. Huh? Yeah. You gotta do a foundation. You gotta make a foundation.
You gotta see this sandwich. This bad boy here. I love it. Sandwich. Thank you. I'm putting cream on it. Roll out. One of these. señor. I'll set this here. All right. All right. Muchas gracias.
De nada.
All right.
Feliz día.
All right. Joe bendiga. Right. So I got my favorite spot. That's the spot right there, man. The 5-star restaurant right there. I think they're Colombian, but yo, I come here all the time. They're good people, man, and they make some real good food. And they don't, they don't charge much, and the portions are, like really, really good portion. You go to these other fast food places and stuff, or get your breakfast sandwich and all of that other stuff. They're trying to rob you, man. They're not even giving you real cooked food. I don't think. I think these people give you the good stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna try. I'm back in the trap. So yeah, that's what happened, man. The dude killed. I don't want you to use that word. YouTube might block that. But he took himself, man. Took himself out because of the. I couldn't do that. I'm sorry, man. I mean, I've been. It's tough when you got, financial problems. Let's just face it. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Can we be honest? When you got some, bills piled up, a lot of people got them. Everybody got bills. But everybody's bills aren't piled up. That's the thing. Like some people, they let their bills just pile up. They pay late fee. They don't care. They late fee after late fee. I was, bro. Let me tell you, I've been down that road. Could not stand the fact that every time this particular bill that was in my name, but lo and behold, I will never do that again. Put nothing in my name for someone else that just don't see the value in paying things on time. And of course, they're not affected by it. So I was affected by it. And that's what, kind of like got me. So at the end of the day, I winded up just paying that account completely off. Because it had caused so much damage to my credit that I just said, you know what? It's in my name. You're not going to pay it on time. You're not even going to pay it. Let me pay these people the rest of this money. So this ends that. It just ends it. And then, I can move forward from here. And like the guy that just completely damn took his, I don't know why, but he probably had so many bills that it was just probably like once he saw all his, and they lost millions and millions of dollars, people lost millions in this crash, millions, tens of millions. And I can see somebody just going, I mean, it's only money, bro. It's only money. Your wealth is really your health. Your wealth is really your health. You unalive yourself, that's it. So why would you, because the market crashed, go unalive yourself? Like, that's crazy. You can keep living. You can keep living. You don't need the money. Now, we're not saying we don't need money out here, but we do. You got to have it. You know what I'm saying? It's a necessity in life. You know what I'm saying? To be, if not gainfully employed, at least have some employment. At least have some income coming in. At least have some stream of income, right? Get out there and make something happen. So you don't be, somewhere overstressed about, life's, circumstances. Like there's just all these different scenarios that we have as, you know, we the only one, the animals don't pay to live. Human beings are the only ones that got to pay for all kinds of stuff. So, you know, otherwise you would be out there living, what I'm saying, and enjoying your life, right? And not having to, be pressured or overwhelmed um, due to what it costs, right? And so it just helps to put things in context in a sense, because when you're trading, most traders, once they do a nice leverage trade, like, oh, it's 10x, I'm going 10x, I'm going 50x. I blame a lot of these exchanges for a lot of what happened. Well, at least I kind of would blame the exchange. They should take some responsibility because you allow somebody to use leverage to enrich themselves. And when a crash happens, all those all those uh different features that you may have on these exchanges where people trade to allow them to minimize their losses, right? Like a stop loss. I know about the trading. I mean, leveraging and you know, um, betting on things going down, or betting on shorting the market or longing the market, say it's going to go up. It's all good, but that's risky business. But that's like trading futures and what the future outcome going to be for the contract. You know what I'm saying? So if you trade a future contract and you say, well, I see it as going up, then you kind of do future trading, which it's all a gamble, right? But you got to expect to be able to lose it all. If you don't expect that you'll lose it all, when it does happen, it's going to blindside you. So that's what happened to a lot of people, and there was nothing that they could do. There was no mechanism. A lot of them smart traders, yeah, they had their stop losses in place so that they can, don't completely get liquidated. But it just kept on going. It didn't work, and for so many people, um, they were destroyed by that crash. Lost everything. Lost everything. Stop losses couldn't help you because you couldn't even get in. You see what I'm saying? And that's terrible, man. Yeah, I appreciate the like, man. You guys, man, do me a favor, man. Let me know where you're watching me from, too, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate those likes, though. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, all right? Um, so that way, you know, I put a video up. You can, you could check it out, right? So, starting over for a lot of people. Um, I'm not encouraging nobody to go and put money into these markets. I'm not encouraging nobody because right now it's still uncertainty. It could go down even more. It could continue to tank. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, oh, buy the dip, yo, don't miss the opportunity. I'm not gonna sell that ticket to nobody. I'm not gonna sell nobody no hope like that. You know what I'm saying? What I would tell you is, you know, just keep your eyes on the markets, and also watch out for you know regulations, because they're saying that this was orchestrated, and uh, you know it's all good when some of those you know congressional uh, people that are elected into these positions. It's all good when they're able to get in at the low after something like this. But shoot, you might find out that a lot of them got wiped out too. And I'm gonna tell you something. I believe that yeah, it was orchestrated, but this is what I believe. I believe that they did that because too many people were accumulating through these leverage trades, and they were accumulating monstrous amounts of you know these different cryptos. Um, some of these exchanges don't allow that type of trading for those coins or those tokens, and then you got some of the exchanges that they do. Some people be $8 and $10 million in profit from leverage trading, and they're not spending any of their money. They're just kind of like they're waging against their money, in other words, and then they wage against it. They leverage it when the market reacts and they wind up going into a profit zone, a lot of them don't close their orders. They just continue raking in the profit. You know what I'm saying? This makes this makes for an average retail person, this something like that makes a bank furious that you're able to obtain wealth at that level, and not have to go through them. They can't get any cut. That's one of the another thing that I know. They don't want you to do that. They don't like that. But this guy that you can't tell me this man wasn't leveraged or over leveraged or anything. You can't tell me that he wasn't using leverage trading. He's, these guys are, they got Lamborghinis, mansions, yachts. I would be out of the game. I would be so done with it. You couldn't get me back watching nothing, no videos or nothing concerning that stuff. Cause I'll go off and live the life. You know what I'm saying? Live the life. Okay, I got the money, but I can still just live the life. Live your life. You know, do things that are uh, considered humanitarian acts and stuff. Do things that are. You got to have a plan. If all you plan to do is just chase the money and be greedy and keep going after more and more riches, you deserve to lose it all. You deserve to lose it all. Well, there are other people that can't even afford to I think that dude Charles Hoskinson or somebody from the the creator of Cardano. I think it's Cardano or ADA. He said it. He said he said you deserve to lose it all. He said them people because you got people that are filthy, filthy, filthy rich, and then you got people that can't afford to do nothing, right? But those filthy rich people, they just greedy for more and more and more. So when a big liquidation like this happens, right, and they lose it all, I mean, you supposed to been got out the game. You been supposed to got out. And I get it. I understand that, man, because how much is enough? How much is enough? Like these markets, they only breed they breed wealth, and then it also could breed you know turmoil. Somebody with a lot of money can be like, man, I'm trying to make more money. All right. And these markets are one way to do it. But you know what? Then I'm going to talk about another thing. These are not the only way to because some people wind up having debt that they have to resolve, and then they say, well, I got to grow my money somehow. I'm not gaining any interest over here in the savings account, and my checking account is always, being debited for one thing or the other. I have bills I have to pay. So I need to take and make some money, make me money. I have to put my money to work. That's good because a smart person with money will grow their money. A fool in their money they'll part ways. And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying about the guys that probably got liquidated and lost everything. You're obviously a fool because why would you be having all, you know, your entire bag in the back in these markets when these things can at any given time, flush you out. So you deserve to lose everything in that case because you should have been smarter than that. Um, then there's other ways of having your money work for you. You know what I'm saying? Leveraging your credit. Doing velocity banking, um, stuff like that. Like if you have to get out of debt and things like that, you can do. You can kind of double up on payments. You know, instead of going the distance, paying off, a loan or something. for 70 months or 30 years or 50. You know what I'm saying? Like you could knock it down to like 4 or 5 years. Um, and I was talking to my daughter the other day. She said she don't even like the credit system because credit score system because she's like, Dad, all it literally takes. She's like, I can't. She's like, I think that it's like a big scam, but it traps a lot of people. And I told her, I said, you're right, because you know what happens is late payments and late missed payments, or saying getting these notifications, then it drop your credit score down, boom, 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 boom. That's that kind of bad news to people is it kind of it leads people to feel a certain kind of way because the emotional attachment to being successful and having some money and stuff, if you're not keeping up on your bills and everything, you're getting late notices or you're getting denial for stuff, cancellation notices and stuff like that. It puts a damper on you. People start feeling like, oh, I'm failing in life, I'm not taking care of what I need to take care of. And um that one or two payments and those one or two notifications from the creditors or whatever cause people to spiral for years. Like they'll just let that stay there for years and just keep and then go on the track record of, oh, I'm just not gonna try anymore. And like I said, man, I had somebody that was, what I'm saying, like tied to me like that, man. They did not want it. They didn't try. They wasn't trying. You weren't trying. You couldn't tell me you tried. You trying. You know what you're trying to do? You're trying to deceive me to because I put it in my name. You're trying to deceive me to think that you are trying to keep up with it. And but on all actuality, I am getting notification that you're not. You're not keeping up with it. So um, I didn't spiral down. I got pissed and said, man, I'm gonna pay this stuff off so I don't start out to stop these notifications coming and stop this stuff from being negatively reported. Sheesh, what do I have to do to get ahead? I'm trying to make my money grow for me. I'm trying to be smart with the money and wise. And then on the other hand, because I done signed and allow my daggone self to be uh in that type of situation. Well, that's been resolved a few years ago. I mean, but it did drag on for a couple years, just negatively, negatively being reported because the person didn't care. And so, you know, I would say I was foolish. Put all to, and I said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Never, never, never put yourself in a basket somewhere with with other people or anything um, who are just not wise and then they got people that's up there trading and they got a group of people come up there I could see them all getting liquidated. Cause yeah, they be like, yeah, join the Patreon. You want to see my trades? You want to see how much I'm making when I do this and when I do that? All of them got liquidated. Yeah, they all probably sitting there like, you know, and they got these memes and stuff. There's a meme that they created online. This dude, he's smoking a cigarette and he's like, and then you can see him, he look like an alien. He's turning all these different colors and you see veins and stuff going, and his eyes get all red and they just start crying and turn red tears and sweat the whole cigarette down till the cigarette fell off. That's a meme, right? And he was going, just watching the whole market just tank and just getting more and more and more. Like he had bloodshot eyes, like he wanted to cry, and blood tears, like I'm losing it all. Yeah, man, that's got to be a crazy feeling. If you never had that happen to you, man, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry, you ain't missing nothing. But if you ever had, you go from a hero to a zero like that, you're out of there. but that happens. That happens, man. That happens to people. So, all right, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna go and eat my sandwich. I should have been eating it here, but I'm gonna go back to the crib, get on the computer, check the markets out, um, do some more research. I'm gonna get that guy's name for you. What was his name? If I had my other phone, I could Google it on my other phone while I got you guys here, but I don't have my other phone with me. But it's a real. I don't know his name, but go look it up. Go look it up. He unalived himself, man. They found him in his Lamborghini. Markets crashed, and he crashed out right along with it, man. Took his own self out, man. That's crazy. But I do hope that everybody is gonna have you know a decent recovery who might have lost some money, that you can recoup those losses, because I think that the markets are gonna go back up, and that's the thing. I don't understand why this guy, he unalived himself. He was liquidated. It didn't matter if the market turned around and went up. Like, once he got liquidated, boom, that was it. He lost his money. He probably had it all in there. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Yeah, I know betting big and doubling down and all of that, but you don't put the house up. Why would you do that? You don't put the house up. Come on, man. Double down. Triple down. You've got a good, strong feeling. You don't put the house up, fool. So ain't no way he can get the house back now, or whatever it is. He put it all up, man. He done put the house's money up, the house up, everything up, and lost it all. Good God. Huh? You gotta be strong mentally to come back from that. I guess he couldn't do it. But, you know, let this be an example to some of you people, man. This is real. This is not a game. And the people are out here trying to become, like, astronomically wealthy in in the crypto markets. So they're desperate, and they're out there trying to go hard, like above and beyond. That's why I said people trying, because holidays are coming, they want to put on and show out, and then figure, well, I'm gonna pull a big trade, get this and that, and then it all goes sour. Don't do that. Stay within, what I'm saying, a range that, if you lose some, you win some, right? You gotta always still be able to look at it like that. You lose some, you win some. I'm not looking at my portfolio and saying, "Oh man, I lost it all." No, because I didn't. Even the one that I just got back into, yeah, that's about 85% gone. That one took a hit because I was in the wrong coins. That's another thing. We'll talk about that. The reason I didn't take too much of a loss, there were coins that went from probably $14 down to 10 cents. That's the wrong coin, man. Obviously, it was it was artificially inflated due to hype. A lot of these coins, they hype. You know what I'm saying? They hype. There is no real utility. There's no real use case, no real world adoption of any of this stuff. It's just all hype. It's a meme, right? So it probably rolled up to a nice number. You don't think you should have took your money out of there and put it into something that had some real, no solid, um, you know, some real, because markets need liquidity. So we don't need to talk about that. But how can you find liquidity in something? Well, there's got to be somebody buying on the other end, right? So if you put your money in the wrong coin and it go to zero, it might have been up for a while, but it was all hype. That's why one of my portfolios, it shrank by, or that account, because I finally got in it, it shrank by over 85%. It shrank down by over 85%. Literally. Went from a few thousand to a couple $100. My other account, of course, I'm invested in real world utility, You know what I'm saying? Um, there's institution and banks, global adoption of this particular coin. It did crash, but it didn't crash by no 80%. You know what I'm saying? I think it crashed by like 25 or something. But I mean, if I look at how much I'm up on the year, I'm still up over 300 and some odd percent from my initial investment into something that has real utility. Those other coins, that other money I had over there, and I used to struggle with it. Even when I was locked out of it, I was like, man, I don't want to stay in them coins. If I could just get in there, I'd sell that stuff and put it over here. Because I already knew that I was buying a bunch of meme coins, a bunch of BS tokens that are hype. And that's exactly why when I logged in, I was like, ooh, they gave me access. They gave me, I get the 4-letter thing or create the password. Boom, boom, boom. They let me back in. It sent verification to my phone, said push these numbers in. I did that. It let me in there. No sooner than I opened it up and looked, that damn account was down to nothing like what it was. And I'm like, I knew that anyway. Those were all meme coins. None of that stuff over there is really going to hold its value. That was all hype. And I sure enough witnessed that, once I finally got in there was no value there. So that's the thing. Make sure you guys are buying stuff of value. Don't buy. This is crypto we're talking about. Because if y'all say, well, what stock should I buy? Well, Apple, Coca-Cola, household names and stuff like that. Like household name cryptos is what you need to be buying. Not stinky foot, not, you know what I'm saying, toenail, a polish, anything that they can come up with. Those things are they're gonna run up on hype, then gonna crash down to zero. So, don't be surprised. Everybody wants to get in on that wave. That is not a wave. That's hype. That's hype. You can't never believe the hype. It was a rap group that had a song called Don't Believe the Hype. Right? It's still around to this day. And that song is still pretty good for, today to be relevant. To play that song. Don't believe the hype. Because people still run around here believing the hype, bro. And I can smell it. It's garbage. It ain't nothing but hype. Sometimes you take those risks, but remember, don't risk much more than you can stand to lose. I didn't put that much into it. I put money into it. It went up, and then it crashed. But you know, I'm probably at a loss for my initial investment still, if it does come back. Because then now I'm selling it for cheap just to get out of it. And I don't be stuck holding the bag. But I can at least take the money that's there and roll it over into something that I know has value. That way, while the price is still low, I can expect to make a return on that. Just being smart. Just being smart. So, yeah, man. Thanks again for you guys that are tuning in, and shout out to R.I.P. And I don't know if there's any other people. This thing is, I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see. I might could get his name. Are you sure? No. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna try to get this guy's name so you can go look him up. I can't do it. I can't. Not while I'm doing this film or doing this thing, this video. So, all right, y'all be easy, man. It's your boy Swizzy. Sunday morning. We still trying to recover from the crash. Hopefully, you guys didn't suffer um, too much of a loss. Check back in with me later in the week. I'll let you know how it's going. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button on the way out. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.